Hello, true believers, and welcome to another edition of BK's Bullets. You guys know the drill by now. My name is Jim, and each and every week-ish, I like to post a video looking at an old DC animated film. We like to call it DC Animated Classics. And today, I've got a review for you guys of 2013's Superman Unbound. Now, before I get into today's video, do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel. Brent's been doing some really good content. He just posted his Zack Snyder's Justice League review, and he's doing weekly deep dive looks at Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I almost said Captain Falcon because I'm an old Super Nintendo guy and I think of F-Zero, but it's just Falcon. Maybe he'll become a captain at the end. I don't know. But hey, subscribe and Brent will tell you all about that. Maybe that'll become a thing. My job here today, though, is to talk to you guys about Superman Unbound. This was a very interesting film for me to watch. I have to ultimately say, I think this really does solidify a topic I've heard so many times spoken before, and that is Superman hard to write for? And I think this really solidifies that argument. If anybody was ever on the fence about, oh no, you can make it work, I think point to this video because it wasn't that good. I didn't like it. There's a lot of things that were off about it. I think namely the animation style was very weird. Superman looked like Elvis. Very long face, very long sideburns, and for whatever reason in this film, not just Superman, but all the characters, it was like made by like a bunch of like horny kids. A lot of sexualization in this film that I didn't really think needed to be there. It didn't offend me. I don't care. You can't offend me. But it just didn't seem like it fit with the source material. Lois Lane, which is tons of cleavage. Supergirl has a very prominent role in this film. Clearly, she's supposed to be like a 16 or 17-year-old, like teenage girl. She's wearing like, you see the V coming down like from her gut, like her whole, like, basically she's wearing like a tube top. And from like, it's a low cut skirt that she has and it's like a V like leading right to her junk. And I'm like, this is kind of over sexualizing a superhero that doesn't really make a lot of sense. There's gay jokes in this story. There's a lot of innuendos in this story. It just didn't really seem to resonate well with the source material. Now, I don't mind a mature Superman story. I don't mind if Superman cusses. I don't mind if Superman kills. I don't mind if Superman fights and it's violent and bloody because, let's face it, the guy could absolutely maul you if he wanted to. I don't mind any of that. I don't mind the mature dialogue either. Go to those places that make the story interesting because you're going to need to do something because Superman really can't be beat. So might as well spice it up with something else. But it just seemed overly sexual for no real reason with no payoff. And it just, even like Superman, like his uniform was like almost like a shoulder. Like, typically he wears, pretty nice tight collar and he's got his cape hooks here. There was like this long V cutout, not V, like an oval. And you saw this skin on his chest. And I'm like, what's the incentive here to like show everybody like half naked? It didn't seem right to me. It's very weird. I can get over that. I can get over the goofy art style. That doesn't ruin it for me. It's just something you're obviously consciously aware of in every single second of this film. But the story in of itself was really not that great. So the idea here is that Superman, mild-mannered Superman, Clark Kent, golly gee whiz, newspaper reporter, what adventure are we going to get into today? This one involved Brainiac. Now, Brainiac is this dude who goes around and miniaturizes planets and studies them. He's got this giant ship, which is actually really cool looking. It's like this giant skull looking ship. It looks like something out of like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Really cool looking skull ship. He flies from planet to planet and he scoops up the capital city of each planet to dissect it and learn about it. And he keeps them like little miniatures, and he's got this giant room And he's got all these cities like on the wall, and he studies them to become smarter. And his ideas, kind of like the Borg, honestly. I don't know who came first. Somebody ripped somebody off here. But if you're not familiar with the Borg from Star Trek, their idea is to learn and assimilate. You know, your resistance is futile. Your distinctiveness will be assimilated into our own, and they become smarter and more powerful by assimilating other societies, learning about them, dissecting them, sometimes physically dissecting them too. Brainiac seems to be very similar to this. He just wants to learn, and in doing so, obviously causes a huge wave of destruction, death, despair. Everywhere he goes, this guy's just ripping cities away, breaking families apart. But when he puts you in these little like city cubes, these little tiny like glass cities, you're still alive. You just live there forever. And he just watches you and learns about your culture. And because of this, he becomes smarter, hence the Brainiac name. Somehow, though, and I'm really not really clear how this happens, but it makes him stronger too. Somehow, maybe he's learning different fighting styles. I'm not really sure there. Clearly, he's half machine, half man. So I guess I can understand the robotic part of things as he gets smarter, learning new technologies. But of course, Brainiac stumbles onto Metropolis because, you know, the movie needs it to. And he's pitted up against Superman. Well, Superman's not going to go down lightly. But, of course, back to the first point I made, how do you write for Superman? Well, you put him in a situation where you give him this kryptonite that makes him weak. Oh, no, the evil kryptonite, you know, he can't fight back. He's going to have to outthink the enemy. And this is where he outsmarts Brainiac. Now, the culmination of this film was laugh out loud bad. So keep in mind, Brainiac has dissected, I believe he said in his own words, 10,000 worlds. 10,000 worlds have fallen to me, and 10,000 more shall fall as well. Something along those lines. He's probably seen some stuff in his journeys around the entire universe, right? And Superman realizes he can't beat Brainiac one-on-one. I don't know why. I don't know why he just like punches him super hard, but I guess Brainiac's, you know, I guess all the enhancements that he's done, these robot parts, has made him really tough and mean and strong. Superman can't beat him one-on-one, so Superman has to outsmart him. Well, how does Superman outsmart him? He takes Brainiac down to a swamp in Florida. I don't know, maybe not Florida. I'm going to say Florida because I'll tell you there's a lot of swamps around my house. He takes him down to a swamp. The Brainiac and him are standing in this swamp now, and they're like fighting. And Superman's like, hey, Brainiac, you know, when you're in your little spaceship flying around, you know, you're the master of your domain. You're controlling everything around you. You have everything where you need it to be, and you are colonizing worlds because you thrive on order. You don't like chaos. You want to be the center of everything, with everything in a nice, neat place based on your design, where you sit in the absolute center and learn about all these cultures and everything. But the swamp is wild, and you're in the mud, and the mud is uncontrolling, and feel the breeze blowing through your hair. I don't even have hair, but you get the idea. Feel the breeze blowing through your hair. That's random. And the mosquitoes flying around and buzzing, and the humidity, all these things you can't control. And Brainiac's like, hey, you're right. And he dies. He blows up. I am not kidding you. That's how this movie ends. No crazy fight. No them punching, and Superman, you know, channels like a big whirlwind, a tornado punch, or super laser vision, or ice cold breath. Nope. Brainiac dies in a swamp pit because he can't handle the randomness of a swamp. This is one of the worst plot like hooks I've ever seen. I would argue that really dopey movie, Signs, where the aliens come down to a planet that's 75% water and die because of humidity. This is along those lines. This is laugh out loud bad. And this goes back to my original point. They don't know what to do with Superman. They're going to have him fight a guy by having him stand in the swamp. It was really bad. Really, really, really bad. I mean, just don't watch this movie. Really, the art was not redeeming. The combat was not redeeming. Supergirl was a very odd throwaway plot. The only thing that made this a little interesting, I guess, really grasping at straws here, folks. There was a post-credit scene, which I was actually unaware of that I did watch. the post-credits scene shows that Brainiac's still alive. Shocker. But I didn't. This is the first time I could honestly say in any of these movies that I've reviewed that there was a post-credit scene. So I was kind of excited about that. Before I close this out, it looks like it did okay. Probably not as good as it should have. Mixed reviews. Shocking, right? Mixed reviews saying that it could have been a little bit better. It looks like it earned about 3.5 million, which is definitely lower than some of the other films. I feel like Superman should be a bigger draw. And I'll close out the video with this. Whoever wrote this, Jeff Johns, I'm looking at the Wikipedia article here. It's based on the 2008 comic book story arc of Superman Brainiac by Jeff Johns. Yeah, they can do better. You guys can do better. This plot was stupid. Superman, I get it. He's immortal. He's invincible, whatever. Put him in a situation where emotionally he struggles. Put him in a situation where he's matched physically and he has to outthink of a problem like you did. But not like this. No, not like this, guys. I'll be back again next week with another video review. Hopefully it's a little better than this one. Major thumbs down. Superman Unbound. Do not watch it. But do take care of yourselves. And remember that until next time, I almost forgot the ending here. I'm so worked up. Do take care of yourselves. And remember, until next time, I will see you guys in the funny pages. Take care, everybody.